Hi everyone, welcome to my channel where I review the latest movies and documentaries. Today, I'm going to talk about the Ghost Station. If you're interested in this topic, make sure to watch this video until the end, and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. The film begins by showing a station where a boy was sitting all alone. A strange woman came who started acting like crazy. She had open hair and was walking very strangely. The boy makes a video of her and puts it on the internet, and tells everyone that this woman is behaving strangely, and then in the blink of an eye the woman disappears from there. That boy also read her thoughts. That's why she went to the same place to check where she had disappeared, where the train gate opened automatically. But the surprising thing was that no train had come there. Then the girl started hearing noises from the track area. So he sat down and started checking by putting his mouth inside, and then the gate closed automatically. The boy's throat was cut and crushed due to interference, and thus he dies a painful death. Next we see a report girl named Na Young. Recently he had made a report about an actress and published the news. These people had made a news report about the actress without her permission, which was quite viral. Because of which he got so angry. He filed a complaint against their company. Due to which the company faces a fine of Rs 50 million. Due to this matter, Naeem's burden gets very angry at him, and says this happened only because of you. Now either you will pay this fine or make such a report that in this way we will reach the heights of success. The views on our report should increase so that we get enough profit to pay this fine. Now after hearing this, Na Young had to think, what should I do now? Now Na Young has to go to the station for some work where he met his two. Smile and tell the sisters that that day when you left the station, I saw a boy who suddenly came in front of the train and died. He gave up his own life. Although I tried to save him but it was too late. The strange thing is that at the same time I also saw a small child who was completely alone. It is heard that this exact thing was also seen by another man who works as a motion machine here at the station. Motation is that which prepares the dead bodies for funeral, burial, etc. Further his friend tells that now I am surprised what information I give you. That child was actually a ghost, and the man had given up his life. His condition was as if he was under someone's control. Now after hearing this, Neo decides that now she will make a report about the people who died here, and the ghosts here at this haunted station, and this station will be brought in front of everyone. This could go viral. Now Neo goes to meet the motioner who tells that yes, he too had seen this small child on that track. Then after hearing this, Ning starts making a report about the station. She tells her friends that there are cameras installed here, so please give me the camera recording of that day. Then his friend, secretly, releases the recording of that day. Now, when my younger friend was dying in the washroom, then suddenly he became very scared of that person, but when he came out from there, he came to know that it was my friend who was scaring me. In fact, after that accident, that same thought kept burning in his mind for many days, and he started having similar drone dreams. It was a coincidence that his friend also used to scare him in exactly the same way. Not a day later, her friend sees 4 numbers on her pillow, which is strange as to who has written there, but she ignores this thing. Now, to help Majid in his report, the barber's friend tells him that he has just seen the train driver leaving in a very strange condition. He was quite silent. Now taking advantage of this opportunity, Na Young and Siva leave so that she can interview the driver. He saw the driver. She also sits next to the person who was sitting at one place and starts interviewing him. But he was scared and silent, and no one would talk to him. At the same time, we saw that the ghost of a child was sitting on the driver's neck, who was holding the driver's neck with his hands, and due to this, strange marks were formed on his neck. The driver gets up from there and continues towards the basement, followed by Na Young. The driver moves towards the wall. He stood up and was repeatedly saying 4 numbers which were 0319. Now there will not be 4 such numbers. Had also appeared to the friend, and now here the driver also turns into a ghost, and his face starts looking very sad, due to which the next driver is missing from there. Now Niam was in the train. She was feeling very happy because every passenger there was reading the news of her station because it had really become quite viral. But when he looked down, there was a ghost of a child sitting there, who caught hold of his leg and started pulling him down. She gets very scared after seeing this, and with her scream the barbers regain consciousness. That means all this was his dream. But when he raised his head and looked in front, all the people working with him were bringing cakes, because the news of the station had really gone viral and lakhs of people were watching that news. Because of this, everyone was very happy. Yoongi Bose says, "You were interviewing this driver, he had died a few days ago, and you were sitting alone at the station and speaking." Now he cannot believe this. That's why she checks the camera recording even on those days where she was really alone. The driver was not sitting with him. The thing that surprises Na Yoon and the one who went to the basement was the driver himself. But still it was difficult for Na Young to understand all these things. That's why she decides to go to the girl who was sitting with the driver that day, and who had left from there when she was coming for the interview. Now Nate goes to meet the girl whose name was fixed, and she starts talking very strange things to Na Young here. She tells him that the man who had committed suicide by jumping in front of the train had not actually come. The one who is near the station then started telling a story that a long time ago, a well was built near the station, inside which a murderer imprisoned all the children, and they were never taken out from there. Due to which all the children were slowly killed, and now this station is haunted only because of those children, because their own spirit comes here and scares the people, and by controlling them, they have ruined their lives. Who was and why did he do this? What are those numbers? The girl does not tell here. Now Na Young searches about the same well on the internet. She sends pictures of this well to the hotel which makes her remember a lot, but she doesn't tell Na Yoga anything. After some time, Day picks up a diary in which many numbers were written. The surprising thing was that all those numbers were also foreign number. There was also a picture inside the diary in which a man was standing in front of two children in front of an orphanage, where abandoned children are kept, who have no one in this world. The most important thing is that the name of this orphanage was the same as that of that Goth station. So now she starts looking at this picture very carefully, and some thoughts start coming to her. It seemed as if there was a connection between this picture and her. Now Nayan and his friends come to motion who was going to show them the dead body of that driver, because Na Young wanted to make some pictures of him, but when they removed the sheet from the dead body, there were many marks on his body which Nakuno could not see. Looked like it was made. Then the notation here gives information that these marks are not the marks of the nails of those children, because their souls nailed the marks of those people. Hemchun is about to die, because all the dead bodies brought here are on the bodies of all. There are only such marks, and these marks, and those four numbers only tell who are the next victims of the souls of those children. The barber's friend notices that a similar mark has been formed on Motion's arm and also on his neck. Seeing that the spirit was sitting there, he felt very scared, but he did not tell this story, because it was an indication that this time Motion was also going to die. Now Na Young sees that the news about the station is going viral very fast. It has become such a hit that now it is getting millions of views, but it also had a negative impact on people. Now more and more people were going to that station and posting videos from there on the internet. Not only this, they were also posting their own pictures on the internet by making fake nail marks on their bodies. When a girl went to the station, she got nail marks on her neck. To hide them she went to the washroom, but there the spirits of some children attack her, due to which she loses her control and strangely there. She started walking because a spirit had scratched her badly. But then she locks him in the washroom with the spirits and takes his life by suffocating him, and strange sounds were heard from the washroom. That's why Neo's friend's friend, who was an installation worker, comes there to check, but we also see nail marks on his neck, whereupon the souls of many children start drawing him, and also join together and attack him like this. She says that she takes his moon only. Now Nain goes to her friend's funeral, and then also goes to meet her friend who was crying. It is said that a few days ago, I too had seen the spirit of a little girl. His clothes had the number 4 written on them, and look, there are marks of nails on my hands too. Saying this, she shows them to the barbers and cries that this is a stale place. I am scared because I will also die near them. Now at night when he was sleeping, he had nightmares about those children. As if all those spirits are sitting on him and then pull him, take him to the well and throw him. Now due to fear he has lost his vision and he goes straight to Neo and tells her about all this. But now both of them decide to solve all this and come to meet Tasty at her house. Here they reveal that the boy had committed suicide by jumping, and your friend had also tried to save him. This well below was broken at that station. He was actually my brother and they had gone to find out the reason for his death. Now together they check his mobile, from which they find a video which was of his wife. In the video, Tikabai tells who has found him and also shows the scene inside where the skeletons of those children were lying in pieces. Now after seeing all this, these people decide that they will also find that well, and with the help of the pieces of the structure, they will cremate the children, so that the souls of the children roaming around in the station will get blood, and they will die forever. She will leave from here, and after this these people will close that time forever. For this purpose, Nayak and his friends go to that station, and while walking on the tracks, they reach a tunnel where it was very dark, and there was a lot of fear, because the spirits of children were trying to scare them again and again. But still she kept moving forward with courage and eventually got a reward. But then the souls of all the children came out from there and started moving towards them. To kill them, then Hiryok gave them the fields by crying, so that you will not be troubled. We will continue to bring your story, your truth in front of everyone. Hearing this, all the children start screaming and crying, and I was trying to show that it is okay for them to suffer so much pain and suffering. Well, now people take out the pieces of the bodies of those children from the well, and now everyone starts feeling that this game of death is finally over. But this did not prove to be good for him, because obviously the kiss had already been resolved. Everyone had come to know that this game of many deaths of souls has ended. This is the reason why people were no longer watching this news and the views stopped coming. Because views come on such cases which have not been solved because there remains suspense as to what is going to happen now and what is not. His boss first tells him many things about this matter, and then fires him from the job for a few days, that too very insultingly. Now because of this the barber was very angry, but she could not do anything. Now when Neo's friend was working at the station, he again sees the spirit of a girl who was trying to scare him at the ball, due to which the evil got cleared here. This pang of death has still not ended, nor does his friend now see the motion in front of him. He remembered that there were marks on his hand also, so he runs to check his hand where there were no marks anymore, which means that motion had done something to get rid of this thing. Seeing this, his friend gave motion a hand. Shows the marks made on it and asks for his help, tell me how to get rid of it, but he flatly refuses to help him and goes away from there. Now follows the friend of the barber's, where he saw something that blew his mind, but we are not shown what it was. Now Naeum was at her house at night, then she comes to meet her. Naeum saw that Inakun marks on her hand, and now tells a huge truth here. She says that when you and your friend went to find there, then the note and came to my house and attacked me. He threatened me to speak 4 numbers, or else I will kill you with John, which happened that his debt has come on me, so the marks of nails have become on me, and now I am also a victim of those souls. I will be killed now. She asks the heavens, how do you know that it is a debt, and it goes on another person like this? Day tells me that my dad had a very good knowledge of these things, and she told me this, and now she opens the biggest secret here. She says that I am the daughter of the same man who imprisoned all those children in that well, or a new killer. They say that I was also actually one of those children, but then one day she took me out of someone because I too was her golden daughter, and she had removed her son who was my subtler brother, because they adopted me. When I was going out like this, the rest of the children prayed to me that you should go out and get us out, but my side was a very limit. He gave every child a code of number 4. For example, if someone had 1020, then someone had 2019 and someone had something, and from these numbers he knew every child. Now obviously, their deaths from the number of those children had every number of their ghosts. Tika used to shout at him. There he used to persecute these children so much that they used to kill them, after which AC used to sell AC to all children. But if his police suspected this, he started getting scared that I would go to catch it somewhere. This is the reason why he imprisoned these children in this school. Crying, she says that all this happened in front of me and my brother's eyes, but what we did, scared, could not help those children, and I think we cheated them. I realize my mistake. She cries a lot by telling all this because she remembered everything, so she was able to recognize those souls now. Now there was only one way to eliminate this steal of death. Those people who are victims of this should die. Those who have marks on those who have a mark on them. Knowing all these things, Naeum came to her house and starts thinking about it by lying on the bicer. But then he caught fire. When she wakes up the next morning, her friend's call comes which tells the barber to change my phone number. He started telling his number, and neither Young also started speaking the number together. But he gets silent by speaking 4 numbers and came on him while speaking Neo. That is, his friend had planned to make the barber, because when he went behind Motation, he saw him doing all this while doing all this. And he says that I want to live forgiveness. That is why I had to do what he cuts the phone tomorrow. Now here we came to know that when I do not have a friend of the Motation, went to his house, then we had informed him by motivation. It was said that now you have to decide who you have to send it to you, and we should also choose 2 girls. That station should be known about the ghost in this curse. And if you call that number from the front, then you will go to or dead. So that's why he did this with Neo. Now the noble worries goes away because if he does not do anything soon, it will be killed. She decides by putting a lot of mind that I will put my debt on my boss, which always provokes me, and my revenge will be fulfilled. She now directly tells the Euro to her boss that I will give the resignation from here, that is, I will leave this job myself. If you speak these 4 numbers, then now his friends do not understand, but neither do you listen to the talk with the younger, that she finally speaks 4 numbers, so that she does not go on it and goes on it. Now he had to get a loan on him because according to his soul, both the station and the debt were known. When she was leaving from there, we would see both screaming behind her because she had become a mark of nails on her hand, and she understood what happened to me, and now I am not going to escape, that is, you do this. Somewhere will not end. This will go on until all the girls with girls are killed. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this movie and what other movies or documentaries you want me to review next. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching and see you next time.